I just want to talk about Too Hot to Handle really quick. Yes, I watched Too Hot to Handle. I also watched Love Island. I watch these shows because they're interesting cultural pieces, and also they can really exemplify positive growth or negative growth when it comes to the heart chakra. And in this season, there has been a scenario with a person who kissed someone on a date. And this girl kept saying, I've let you in and you let me down, to this man over and over again. And he's not taking those words as seriously because he's unable to talk about his emotions in depth. And she's taking his actions incredibly seriously because she's been let down a bunch of times. And when it comes to our heart chakra and it comes to relationships, what can very much happen is that we build walls around our heart in order to protect ourselves from a thing happening in a new relationship, which means that we can develop communication issues, we can find people untrustworthy, we can reject people too quickly. Essentially, what we end up doing is projecting this wound that we have from multiple relationships onto a new scenario, meaning that we're looking at these new connections through the lens of these old wounds. And the objective of the evolution of the heart chakra is to be able to process these wounds and release them so that you no longer have these walls around the heart. There is this book written by Michael Singer. It's called The Untethered Soul, and it talks about these wounds in our body. Think of it like a thorn. And what we do instead of removing the thorn is we build a little box around the thorn. And this box is helped to protect us from having this thorn jostled. And what we end up doing is expecting the world around us to navigate around this wound, which just doesn't work. What that means is we're holding on to a lot of things, and eventually our entire body, our entire chakra system is going to be filled with these wounds, and every little thing is going to end up upsetting you. And when we talk about disassociation and PTSD, where you are snapbacking into a scenario or a memory and you feel like it's happening in real time. Well, these kinds of things happen with the heart chakra as well, which means that we're going to be triggered by something that reminds us of a past situation, a past indiscretion that has happened to us. And instead of being able to allow ourselves to move through the situation, being unbiased, talking to the person, having open communication, recognizing that our feelings are hurt, but being able to process it from a higher evolutionary system, what we're going to end up doing instead is closing down and cutting people off and removing ourselves from the ability to evolve into this higher mode of thinking and love and communication that can unify us. So what we need to do instead is to figure out how can we love and be loved in return while still having these wounds. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, but it's all about pattern recognition and self-exploration so that you can figure out where your wounds come from in the first place. Now, this lady on this fucking Netflix show, Bro, it is Mercury retrograding for me so hard. I've been fucking up on communication all day. It's going really good. She has admitted just publicly to everyone, Damari really fucked up because I've been let down over and over again by untrustworthy men. Okay, so she knows her pattern, she knows it's a thing, but what she's doing is pushing this man away, and she's unwilling to have these conversations with this person and work through the scenario in a healthy way because she's automatically assuming that because this person had this one thing that has happened, that he's going to be untrustworthy forever. And that's going to be a really big issue. That means that she's going to be projecting this baggage onto all of her relationships to come, and it's going to skew her ability to connect with people. So she needs to heal that wound within herself in order to be able to connect with people. This is just something to think about. I definitely recommend the book The Untethered Soul: The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael Singer. It's really good. It will help you think about your life in the perspective of bringing enlightenment and consciousness and awareness to your habits and behaviors and thoughts, so that you can start living your life through the lens of like higher consciousness, which is the objective of healing your chakra system and activating these points of consciousness so that you can be living in this literal untethered self, so that you can connect with people on a genuine, compassionate level, and you can continue to bring the world into a higher vibration. Because if you haven't noticed, shit's getting pretty crazy out there, and we all need to be moving into this higher evolutionary self. It's like, anyways, that's it.